are now listening to Lauer Road Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Road Radio.
Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Yeah. Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Road Radio.
Let's get it.
What? At Tanagra, when the walls fell. This is Dan Owings. Coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason. How you doing today?
Pretty good. Quick shout out to Johnny Meadows, who is the primary stockholder of
still
Lauer Road Radio. Yes.
Owns more stock in Lauer Road Radio
than anybody
else. He bought some stock a while ago.
We offered it up.
And he purchased some Lauer Road Radio stock, and we're still waiting for that to pay dividends.
Yes. Typically, it doubles every 7 years. I think it might have been cut in half. We used it.
Well, it's gone.
Bought some pizza with it. But so if anybody else wants to kick in towards stock, you can own a piece of the show.
We have stock options, and you can own a piece of the show.
It might not ever pay out. In fact, it probably won't.
Anybody that gives us, I don't know. You know, though seriously, there are radio or YouTube channels that have supporters, and they just put their name up like as a recognition.
Yeah.
I like all the ambient world things starts off with like a 5-page slide of everybody. Patreon supporters or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not really my thing.
I mean, money would be nice.
Money would be nice.
That's kind of why we're doing this.
Is it?
Well, that was the original goal. I don't know why we're doing it now.
I don't know either.
It's an investment into our future.
So, I'm drinking out of my pretentious coffee cup today.
Yes.
Because when our sister Amy was watching the show, she said that I was drinking out of a very pretentious coffee cup. And so, you know.
This is the opposite of pretentious.
Yes.
And I haven't washed it in 3 months. I've been using the same cup every week.
I think it's been longer. I don't remember a time that cup was not in this room. So you're like with the can opening thing.
Yeah.
You know how you want to open up a can at the beginning of every episode.
Yeah.
And you know, there's just this is cool. This will be our thing.
I never thought that was going to be a thing. I just like.
But you're trying to make it a thing.
I never said that.
You are, because you put it into the microphone. You're like the Daniel Stern character on Home Alone.
The Wet Bandits.
Yeah, where he's like, we'll be the Wet Bandits. That'll be our thing. It's like, no, that's not a thing. You can't. It's just, you're an idiot, you know? And you're like, it'll be, you know, the can opening thing. It'll be our thing.
That. I just like the way it sounds.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
It's pretty much, that sound is pretty much one of my favorite sounds.
It's a great sound.
It goes back to when we were kids. We'd go to our grandparents' house, and we had secret code words. And when we went to our grandparents' house, we were allowed to have one Coke. Specific. That's all they had was Coke. Coca-Cola.
Now, was that grandma's rule, or was that mom's rule instituted on us?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was probably more of our mom.
Now, I remember when our great grandma lived with our grandparents.
Yeah.
And I used to ask her for everything.
Yes.
Because she would always say yes to everything.
Of course.
And Grandma was very busy.
Yeah.
She was always doing stuff on the farm or whatnot. I don't know. She was just busy doing a lot of stuff. And I was just like, I'm not going to ask her. But my great grandma, she'll say yes. She'll say yes. And so I used to ask her all the time. And I remember when great grandma, Grandma Biggerstaff died. I remember like a few weeks later being at the house being like, I don't know who to ask for a cookie. And it was like a big deal for me. And I asked Grandma, and she's like, of course. And I was like, oh, she's going to give me cookies too. Okay, this is going to work out.
Well, that was the thing. So like the Coca-Cola, like you and I would look at each other and go, cha-ching.
That was a good time. Cha-ching.
And remember, Kerchunk was the cookies.
Cookies were the Kerchunk. And Grandma would have those. They weren't Oreos. They were the black and white. Like one side was.
Oh, no. They were brown.
No. They were the chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those.
Where does somebody get those?
I don't know. Quality Farm and Fleet?
Probably.
Tractor Supply, something like that.
Yeah, probably.
But they were like the cookie portion of it was very powdery.
Yes.
It was like a powdery cookie Oreo type of thing.
Yeah.
With like a...
I don't think it was great, but it would be very nostalgic for me.
Super nostalgic. I don't think it was good.
Like, I don't think I'd pick it above other things.
But we would have some of those cookies.
Oreo-wise, what's your preferred Oreo?
Probably just double stuffed.
You are double stuffed.
I'm a double stuffed guy.
Okay.
I like the original. But I was doing double stuff before it was cool. I would take one, take another one,
Frankensteining Oreos
and putting them together. Yeah.
What were you doing with the other two pieces?
I eat those separate.
Okay.
Anyway.
So I would eat that. I still do it now. I twist the Oreo, then I eat the piece that has no lard on it.
Whatever that stuff.
That stuff is. I don't know what it is. Dense Crisco. I eat that one, and then I scrape the lard off with my teeth
and eat just that.
Eat just the lard, and then I eat the other cookie.
That's weird.
So it's like a 3-step process.
I mean, I don't eat a lot of Oreos. I don't remember the last time I ate an Oreo, but I'm a regular Oreo guy.
Yeah, I like the vanilla Oreos.
I like the thin Oreos.
Oh no, I don't like.
Yes, I do.
I don't like the thin. I like the mint Oreos too.
I love a mint Oreo.
Yeah. I've never met an Oreo I didn't like.
That's pretty obvious. We were driving Harrison and I stopped at Rally's on the way in, and we're sitting at the drive-thru, and the lady two ahead of us, currently getting her food out of the window. Now, keep in mind, this is Ohio. It is -1 degrees Celsius, according to the sign at the bank.
I believe it'd be -1 degree because it's a singular.
What'd I say?
Degrees.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's 29 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
-1 Celsius. And she was getting ice cream in cones.
Yeah.
Out the window at Rally's. And there's two problems with this. One, it's freezing cold in Ohio. Two, you're getting ice cream at Rally's. There's so many better places to select ice cream. So this is what I want to do. Mount Rushmore of places to get ice cream.
Well, I mean, I would say your local dairy bar.
Local dairy bar is the George Washington.
Yeah.
Now, that's not the Dairy Queen, which also belongs on the list.
Yeah, Dairy Queen belongs on the list.
But there's your local dairy bar, the Dairy Queen. I'm going to make a strong push for Sonic.
I know you would.
I've never actually got ice cream from Sonic.
Oh, ice cream Sonic.
Slushies?
Sonic ice cream is great. No, not slushy.
Aren't they more
ice
known
cream.
for slushies?
No, Sonic has all sorts of things. And I'm going to say ice cream truck, food truck.
Okay. Now, ice cream truck belongs on the list.
Yeah.
For sure. And Dairy Queen and local dairy bar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where else? What are you going to put on number 4?
I just feel like we're missing something very
I don't know.
obvious.
I've done a lot of Sonic ice cream.
Yes, you have.
I think it's fantastic.
It's all right. I mean, it's as good as the others.
Sonic Blast is their Blizzard.
Do I like a Sonic Blast? Yes,
Come
I
on.
like a Sonic Blast.
I usually get double.
You get extra stuff.
Well, I get a Butterfinger Sonic Blast with extra Butterfinger. It's pretty good.
It is good. I don't know. I feel like there's a glaring. What about pretentious downtown ice cream place?
That's more of a you thing.
It is more of a thing.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do Mount Rushmore of ice cream.
Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry,
Mint.
chocolate.
Cosmopolitan?
Well, you got all three in there. Chocolate, strawberry, and...
Or not sherbet. Or
I think it's
listen.
called Cosmopolitan.
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan. I don't know. I'm an idiot.
I was just going to let it slide. I wasn't going to call him out on his stupidity, but yeah, it's Neapolitan.
Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
Well, that's Neapolitan.
But those are the also...
Yeah, and mint. Mint's the other one. It's
I think
mint.
sherbet's probably more
No,
popular
first
than
of all,
mint.
I'm not even sure if
Sherbet's not
sherbet's an ice cream. Yeah.
I like mint chocolate chip ice
and
cream.
it's sherbet.
Sorbet.
Whatever.
I like mint chocolate chip ice cream. That reminds me of another thing. We'll come back to it about mispronouncing things.
Like the way I say amphitheater.
Yeah, the way
My wife hates it when I say that word, amphitheater.
and when I hear you say it, I then forget how to say it.
Amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Amphitheater. Amphitheater. Why?
It's an amphitheater.
Yeah.
That's how I say it. And my wife hates it. I mean, she just hates it. And I don't know why, because that's what it's called.
Amphitheater.
Yes. Perfect.
What am I saying wrong?
I don't know. I think you're saying it right. It's an amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
That's how I say it. Amphitheater.
So I was in the car the other day,
Uh-huh.
and in the car, I think we got some sort of new, I don't know, the car wash thing. The thing that you get the car wash.
Air freshener?
Air freshener. We got or something like that.
Yeah.
For some reason, the word fragrance came up.
Mm.
And Erica said something about the fragrance. And I was like,
Fraggle Rock.
and I was like, did you... the what? The fragrance. Because it's like the fragrances. I was like, why are you saying it that way? And she's like, what am I saying? What do you mean? What am I saying?
What way?
I was like, are you saying fragrance on perfect? Like on perfect, on purpose? Like do you think that it's fragrance? Do you? She's like, what do you say it is? I was like, fragrance.
Yeah.
She's like, it's fragrance. I was like, we've been married for 20 years and this has never come up. It's like, you really, you think it's...
This might be a deal breaker right now.
You think it's fragrance. You really think it's fragrance. Like, and she's like, I think that's always the way I've said it. I don't know another way. I was like, it's fragrance. And
100%.
Yeah, it's fragrance. It's just like, it was such a funny thing.
Fragrance.
It's like I had to... Yeah. So
that's just the beginning of her trying to gaslight you. All your kids are going to start saying it. Everyone around.
Oh, that would be funny if you asked your kids how to say it. If they all said fragrance, she's been behind your back telling them how to say things.
I don't know about that. I mean, it was such a weird thing to me that she really did think that
and she still holds to that.
No, I think she knows she's wrong because I pointed it out. Like, she was like, I think she thought about it.
Yeah.
But how she got this far in life.
Yeah. How you've never discussed fragrances.
And how no one's ever called you on it.
Yeah.
And how I never have. It's not like that's a word that I say a lot.
No, but once in 20 years, you would think.
You would think so.
Yeah.
And she said fragrance. And I just couldn't. It was just, and I don't know. And it makes you wonder, what are you saying? Like amphitheater.
Yeah.
Amphitheater. Amphitheater. Amphitheater?
Amphitheater.
I think I always call it amphitheater.
Yeah, that's not how I say it. You might be saying it right.
How
I don't
do you
know.
spell it?
I don't know.
Amphitheater. Well, here we go.
Amphitheater.
Oh my gosh. Do it again.
Why is that personal?
Amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
Amphitheater. Amphitheater.
Dude,
It's not even saying
No,
that.
it's not.
It's
not.
AMPHITHEATER. So it
That means nothing to me.
It's amphitheater.
There's an F in it?
There's no L.
No, there's a PH. There's no L.
Amphitheater?
Amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
That's why
Oh,
you were
no.
messing me up so much.
There's no F sound in amphitheater.
Well, there's a PH.
Amphitheater. It's a PH makes an F sound.
Amphitheater.
There's no L.
There's no L,
There's
man.
no L.
Amphitheater.
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 Now I can't say it.
That's why you murdered it so bad that I couldn't figure out how to spell
an
it or
amphitheater.
say it.
That's
It's definitely not an amphitheater. It's an amphitheater. Is what
I
it
will
is.
never say it.
Well, I believe
You'll be
that.
saying it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it wrong till the day I die.
I believe that.
And I'll be fine with it.
Mhm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
So are we done with the ice cream?
Did we miss a Mount Rushmore?
Well, I think we finished the ice cream. We're finishing it with mint. I won't have anything else.
That's fine. There's not an obvious choice.
So I posted this the other day, and I had nothing but negative feedback from it. Not one person in support.
Okay.
I came home, and I think it was Harrison. It might have been one of the other boys. They were watching movies, and one of them had popped some popcorn.
As you do.
I walk into the living room.
Mhm.
It smelled delicious.
There's very few things that smell as good as freshly popped popcorn.
Agreed. I'm pretty sure that might be my favorite smelling fragrance is freshly popped popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted, I said, change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Popcorn, freshly popped popcorn smells better than it tastes. And I'm going to hold to it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, listen.
I agree with that.
Thank you. Do I like eating freshly popped popcorn?
Of course you do.
100%. I think it's delicious. And put everything on it. Butter, salt, everything. It tastes phenomenal. What's even more phenomenal is the smell.
Agreed.
Thank you. Jesse, you agree too?
Yeah. If it weren't for the smell of the popcorn, I don't know if I'd ever even eat the popcorn. It tastes good, but I feel like the smell just
so this
amplifies.
This is a crazy. I think that's your problem.
Amplifies.
I think you're hearing the word amplify. Amplify. And you're thinking in an amphitheater.
You amplify in the amphitheater.
I think those are the words.
I'm going to start saying amplify.
I think those are the words. I think somehow
amphitheater.
you're meshing a lot of different words.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Listen, nothing but negative feedback.
Now,
everyone said it tastes better than it smells.
And it's not the only thing like that.
What else do you got?
Now, this is controversial. And this is... I understand.
You can't smell ice cream.
No. Well, I mean, you can, but it's not like the smell of ice cream is like... No, this is one that... Ice cream is firmly, the taste is superior than the smell.
100%.
Some things... But
coffee.
This would be an interesting...
What about coffee?
Well, see, this is what I'm going to say. I think coffee's on that list.
Of smells better than taste.
Yes. And now that does not mean, like you said...
I love coffee.
That does not mean that I don't enjoy drinking coffee or I don't enjoy eating popcorn.
Yeah.
But the smell is so good. The smell is so good.
Coca-Cola in a glass bottle. Tastes better than it smells.
Yes. It smells like a battery. But it tastes amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Nice ice cold.
And some things smell great and taste horrible.
Yes.
Like flowers. You know?
Depends on the flower.
Smells great, tastes horrible.
Like rose.
Like a rose.
Yes.
By any other name would still be a rose, but it does not taste good. It smells good. So there's a lot of crossover here, and some things taste great and smell great, but still I would say coffee, the smell of it is so good.
Yeah.
It does outweigh the taste.
You walk into a good...
Because there are people that don't like the taste of coffee.
But they like the smell.
But they like the smell of it.
Yeah.
Savannah's one of those.
Yeah. I mean, you go into a coffee shop that's doing it right, it smells amazing. I could spend a lot of time in a good coffee shop. Do we have a problem?
I think so last week we ended the episode by teasing the fact that I had a story to tell. And Jesse said he was going to bring his gecko.
Yeah.
And I just hope that Jesse is playing with a gecko back there.
Are you? Oh my gosh.
Is that a gecko? Is that what that is?
That's a gecko.
That's a big gecko.
Was that in your pocket the whole time?
Yep.
Is it going to bite me?
Nope. Don't let it walk off the table.
Well, I don't want it. I don't want the gecko.
That's a big gecko.
Yep. I brought the gecko.
Did we get it on camera?
Here, I'll
Here. Can you hold it up?
just hold it up here.
Yeah.
Is it on?
That is the gecko.
What kind of gecko is that?
It's a leopard gecko.
That's a big gecko.
That thing was in your pocket this whole time.
Yes, it was.
What
the entire
pocket?
time.
He's got a
I
little
got a zipper.
He's got a little
A zipper pocket.
like a kangaroo pouch.
Yep.
Was he moving around?
No, just chilling. Getting warm.
We've been here for like 2 or 3 hours. We
Yep.
were just back in the offices talking with other people for the last couple hours, and you've had a gecko in your pocket this whole time.
Yep, just chilling. His name's Freddy.
Freddie the gecko.
Freddy the
finally
gecko.
got to bring the gecko.
Yep.
Well,
Do I get to bring him every time now?
No.
No?
I mean,
Okay.
I
You
don't.
can ask.
I don't-
That's your sign off.
I don't mind if you bring the gecko. It is extremely distracting.
Yeah, I'll put it back in
What
my
doesn't he
pocket.
like? Wouldn't he like want to crawl on me because I'm warm? I feel like he looks at me like he wants to eat me.
You smell.
I do smell like a dog.
You smell better than you taste.
Can I pick him up?
Yeah. Just don't grab his tail; it'll fall off.
Oh, that's disturbing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, shoot.
I'm afraid I'm gonna break him. I'm not afraid to touch him, but I am afraid I'm gonna break him. I don't want to break him.
Hand under him.
Oh, he's on
He's
the iPad.
touching the iPad.
Harrison,
now he's
what
on
are you
the
doing? Oh
Okay.
my gosh. Okay, put him back in the pouch.
So, I might as well just get into it.
that was really distracting.
Last year was extremely
That was a
distracting.
visual, by the way.
I just look over
It's-
and Jesse's just like, and I don't see a gecko, and I was like, man, I hope
for a blind audience.
I really hope Jesse has a gecko back there.
for a
That's
blind
what I-
audience, you need to go watch that on YouTube.
So last year for around Christmas, Jesse and a couple other friends have geckos or snakes, all sorts of things. And my daughter Abby then wanted a gecko.
Yeah.
And she had been asking for one for a long time. He found his way out there.
Yeah.
He likes it. He likes the bright lights.
Yeah.
That's really distracting. You're really going to have to tuck them away.
We're going to have to ask you to put them away. So
keep your gecko in your pocket.
So there we go. That's hilarious. So she is really wanting this gecko.
Yeah.
And we've made mistakes with pets before, but she's older and she's very responsible.
Which one is this?
Abby.
Okay.
She's very responsible, and she was asking. So finally, we bit the bullet. We said, okay, we're going to get her a gecko for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so we went with our friends, Josh and Kinsey, to this lizard, what was it? Expo in Columbus.
Yeah.
And it's just this giant building full of people selling geckos and
reptiles,
salamanders, and all sorts of things.
Thousands.
It's insane. And so they help us pick out one. It was just a little guy, and he was $80, I think. I mean, it was a lot, and I'm
not
just
cheap.
like, not cheap.
Yeah.
And so, and we get the cage or whatever the thing is in, and we get the heat lamp and all of the stuff, and Abby has done a very good job. I gotta say, still alive.
Okay.
This brings me to this story.
Uh-huh.
So she had been very responsible. And Erica and I got home really late one night, and the kids were asleep, and she walked downstairs to Abby's room, and she came back up maybe 15 minutes later, and she was like tearing. You know what I mean? Erica is. Abby's asleep. I was like, what's wrong? And she's like, Abby's gecko's dead. And I was like, are you serious? And she's like, I don't know what happened. She's been really busy lately. Maybe she forgot, but she's like, he is completely shriveled up. He just like completely shriveled up and like everything. And she goes like, and I tried to like move him, and I thought maybe if I can get him some water or food or, you know what I mean, whatever she forgot to do, we can get, but she's like, he's just dead. He's not moving, and he's completely shriveled up. Looks like a skeleton, he's completely dried out. It's horrible, And so then this goes into this existential crisis in which we're failing as parents, and then it's all of the other things. And it's like, well, we're not doing that, and we're not doing this, and what and she's gonna be so upset. She's gonna be so sad. Should I wake her up? And I was like, what are you gonna wake her up and be like, Abby, your gecko's dead. Go back to sleep.
Wake up! You failed.
Yeah, I know. I was like, you're just gonna have to wait. She's like, but should I wake up like super early so I'm awake when she gets awake? And so we're talking about it, and I said, obviously it's just a gecko, but she was really emotional about the whole thing. So she wakes up in the morning, and she goes downstairs to try to wake up Abby first, so Abby doesn't wake up and see her dead gecko. And when she gets down there, she looks, and the gecko's not where it was. Yeah. And she thought, what happened? And so she's like looking around, and it's alive. Yeah. And she's like, wakes up Abby. She's like, Abby, because what I told her was, Abby probably knows the gecko's dead. She probably feels self-conscious about it. Yeah. And doesn't want to talk to us about it. Right. And so she's just not bringing it up because she feels bad that she killed it. Yeah. And that was another thing, was she can't talk to us about this. You know what I mean? So it's the whole
Listen,
thing.
That's the right move.
And so I was like, that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
And she's just probably just, I was like, and so Abby is woken up by Erica saying, Abby, your gecko is alive. Because in Erica's mind, she thinks, and Abby's like, yeah. Well, apparently it was shedding its skin, and Erica had never seen that before. And so she was convinced that it was completely dead. And when they're shedding their skin, they don't move, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's getting colder. A lot of lizards go into this thing called brumation, where they'll just straight 24 hours a day, not move, not eat, not do anything. Mm-hmm. But the shedding is, they'll get pretty still for a while when they shed. Yeah. And so it was just really funny because she was just so convinced that the thing was dead.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And I mean, we had like an hour-long conversation about all the ways in which we're failing as parents, and, what's wrong that our daughter can't talk to us about the fact that she did this. And this was a lot of money, so we're not going to just go off and buy her another lizard for it to die again, but what are we going to do? So, it was hilarious.
See, from a parenting perspective, most times, I don't know, I was going to say 9 times out of 10. I don't know if that's the correct percentage, but most times, if you just kind of wait it out, things have a way of working out.
That's true.
It is true.
You shouldn't be, just quick to fix things all the time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, you just play it out. You don't have to solve every problem.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, create solutions. I mean, if you just let it play out, most times it will take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I can't tell you how many times that's happened.
Hands-off parenting. That's the book that you're going to write.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they can parent themselves.
Mm.
If you give them enough responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
they'll just do it themselves.
I'm
Why
still
should I
waiting
feed them dinner when, if they're hungry enough, they'll just figure it out? There's food in the fridge. Go feed yourself.
I'm still
I'm
waiting
going
on
to
Maddox
rallies.
to pay rent. He's not doing it.
No, he needs a job.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is at my work on the counter, and listen, I work with a lot of really gross dudes. I mean, it's a gross, dirty environment. I'm there. Mm-hmm. It's a very dirty environment. Most of these guys smell when they're clean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a bag of puppy chow sitting on the counter.
I made some puppy chow this week.
It's like just in a Ziploc bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's not individually portioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
a
there.
loose bag of puppy chow.
Yeah, I mean, it's zipped, and it's a full-size, gallon bag.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've eaten a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten a lot of things that may be prepared by people less than clean.
Oh, sure.
In fact, I just ate at rallies.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the people that work at rallies?
Yes.
Not the best.
Mm-mm.
I'm okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't eat loose food like that.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
In that environment. So what other loose foods are there?
Mm-hmm.
Like bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
Am I sharing a bag of chips with anybody? I don't think I am. Now, if you take the chips and pour them out, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem. Is bag of guys are reaching in that bag of chips, or they're reaching in that bag of puppy chow. Individual cookies.
Sure.
Now, listen, that's a full cookie. You can grab a cookie and eat it. I'm not grabbing loose material. Right? That's the right move.
I think so. Especially you don't know who prepared it. You don't know where it came
See,
from.
that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of potlucks?
I'm like 50-50 on them. I get it. My wife is not a fan of potlucks. She also won't go to a buffet. Like, she hates a buffet for the same reason.
I do like buffets.
I love good buffet.
Man, I get it. Like, her criticism is legitimate.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the mutants that are there that are, like, scooping it on, and I'm touching the same stuff that they're touching.
Oh, yeah.
And they're looking over the thing and all the, like, it's gross.
Yeah.
It is gross. And so from a sanitary standpoint, yes, it's very unsanitary. Sanitary? It's very unsanitary. When normally in a restaurant, the people serving your food ought to be wearing gloves and that sort of thing. But at a buffet, it's like, screw it. Like, we'll just let everybody touch everything.
Whatever happens, happens.
So yeah. And for the same reason, and you hear horror stories about potlucks as well. Somebody came and the food was poisoned. And I mean, I've been at people's houses and I've seen the way they live.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you're making food and you're the person that lets your cat just walk over everything all the time. Like,
disgusting.
I'm not interested in eating from a kitchen that a cat was walking on.
Yeah.
Cats are gross.
Cats are gross.
Cats are gross.
Honestly, I think all animals are gross.
Yes.
Food and animals belong in separate areas unless the food is the animal.
Yeah, well, that's different, obviously. Yeah, we don't let our dog in the kitchen.
No.
He doesn't come in the kitchen.
Our dog doesn't go in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't happen.
My lizards
love that.
will not go in the kitchen.
I love that part in Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Get out. Go get in the kitchen. Get yourself something to eat.
Yeah. He's probably just nosing through the trash, Clark. Nosing through the trash. Man. I just watched that movie last night.
Great movie.
That is the Christmas Vacation is the movie that Erica and I always watch when we wrap Christmas presents.
Yes.
So the kids go to bed, we turn on Christmas Vacation, and we wrap Christmas presents. It's just we've done it for, I don't know, since Levi was born.
Yeah.
And so last night we wrapped Christmas presents and watched Christmas Vacation, and man, it is so good.
I think my favorite line, I'll butcher it. I'm not exactly sure how it goes, but I laugh every time. Falls in a well. Eyes go across.
Mm-hmm. Gets kicked by a mule. They go back straight. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's a good one. I mean, all the Cousin Eddie things. Probably my favorite. I don't know. There were so many good Cousin Eddie.
Out the RV into the storm sewer.
Yeah, crapper's full. That's good. I I think probably my favorite one, and this is tough, but probably my favorite one is when they're at the store and Clark is kind of like trying to figure out if he has Christmas for his kids and all that sort of stuff, and he's like, well.
Meanwhile, they're throwing dogs a bag food.
One bag of dog food after another, just slamming it. Every time I put dog food on a grocery cart, I think of Cousin Eddie in life. But he says, Eddie, we want to give you and the kids, we want to give the kids a good Christmas. Yeah. He's like, well, it's just a real nice surprise, Clark. And then he gives him
opens up his jacket
and he gives him a list, and he goes, it's not too much. I want to get something for you too, Clark. Something real nice. Like that line, like just that attitude that some people would call a poverty mentality. Yeah. That attitude that's like that like I want to get you something really nice. Oh my goodness. I mean, it is just too much. It is just too much. All the Cousin Eddie stuff is phenomenal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think in our family, I'm looked to as the Cousin Eddie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
All my nieces and nephews think I'm crazy.
Uh-huh. I play into it. I will say you're not as bad as Cousin Eddie.
Thank you.
Like the line in which they're talking when they bring in and they find out there's a cat in the bag, and they're trying to figure out what to do, and Clark's like tells his son, what's his son's name in the show?
Rusty.
He's like, Rusty, go do something, and Eddie's like, come on, Rusty, let's go find your sister. I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah, Cousin Eddie is he's special.
Cousin Eddie, he's great, and that movie's great. There are so many good lines in it, and that's a classic.
On Twitter, he posted that he would be in a bathrobe, come to your house, stand on the front lawn, and wave at people as Cousin Eddie.
He would
for $10 million.
$10 million?
That was his number.
I
lowballed him. I said, would you do it for $1,000?
Yeah,
I would pay $1,000.
I feel like I would.
Yeah, $1,000.
$1,000 for Cousin Eddie.
Maybe for an hour.
Yeah,
it's a quick $1,000 for him.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's pretty great.
All right, what are we talking about?
Well, I mean, I brought up like 5 things today. I've got more things.
Well, I got more things too. At some point we're gonna have to talk about Netflix. I thought, within the Netflix suggestion, this is.
You would do that next?
We could do the Netflix suggestion. This is Christmas. I mean, Christmas is just a few days away. Although it might
be today.
You might be watching/listening to this on Christmas Day. So I thought we could do we've done it before. But the Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies.
Netflix, watch these shows of those. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Or maybe Amazon Prime or something like that, like YouTube. Or we don't want to put a box around what you watch, so you never know.
Jason, what is your Netflix suggestion of the week?
Are you drinking a V8?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate V8.
Listen,
do you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like it.
And it's in a can.
Yeah.
Listen,
it's got to be crazy cold, first of all.
It was.
In a bottle. I'm not drinking V8 out of a can. There's something wrong with
Everything's best out of a can.
That's not true.
I do not like V8. What's your Netflix suggestion?
My Netflix suggestion is a new movie that's on Netflix. I believe it's a Netflix original.
Okay.
It's called A Boy Called Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And it's a live action. It's not a cartoon.
It's live, like they do it every single time somebody's at home and clicks on here. Okay, guys, here we go again.
Okay.
Somebody in Sheboygan just clicked on this. Well, we'll see. Maybe we won't get 5 minutes into it, and he'll decide to watch something else.
It's not animated.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you call that?
I think they call that live action.
I said live action.
No, you said live.
I was coming up. I was.
It doesn't matter.
Dramatic effect.
It's fine.
Live,
just the fact
it's a
that
live
I could
action.
make fun of you.
Yeah. A Boy Called Christmas. It's about a boy who's called Christmas. And he turns into, eventually, Santa Claus.
I have a great idea for a Christmas movie. Ready for this?
Well, listen, it's a solid movie. Let me finish the thought.
Oh, sorry.
Watch it with your kids. It's good. It's not scary. I'm done.
Okay. I'm I have an idea for a Christmas movie. Tell me what you think about this. This is not a fully formed idea, but it's like the world that we're living in which nobody really above a certain age believes in Santa Claus, because all of these movies. Like I just watched The Santa Claus with our niece and nephew Josiah and Elise on Saturday morning. Tim Allen. Yeah, and in it, Santa Claus is real. This is a world in which Santa Claus is real, but no adult believes in Santa Claus except that he does seem to deliver presents. So like in this world, it's like, well, where do you think those presents came from? Yeah. Like mom and dad. Like, because presents are just showing up and you're like, Santa Claus is not real. Like, yeah, every year somehow presents just show up under our tree that we don't know about, but this Santa Claus is ridiculous. Yeah. Listen, if presents just showed up under my tree every Christmas Eve,
I might start to believe.
I would be like, yes,
something's happening.
Something's going on. Santa Claus seems like as reasonable of an explanation as anything else.
Yeah.
So that doesn't quite check out. But I want to do a one where it's just like the real world where nobody believes in Santa Claus legitimately because there's no evidence for Santa Claus. But Santa Claus is actually real. But he holds to he's making a list, he's checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty and nice. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. Yeah. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. And he catches every single kid every year. He's like an accountant, Yeah. And every kid, there's no kid that's perfect. Every kid does something. And so any little thing that you do as a kid that's wrong, he's like, no, sorry. And so he spends his whole year scrutinizing all the children of the world because there's no perfect kid. Right? Yeah. And that's why he's just this grumpy old man at the South Pole, surrounded by elves, South Pole, North Pole, that want to make presents, but he's just so...
Maybe that's the twist. He does live at the South Pole.
Oh, so he's a South Pole.
We've all been sending our list to the wrong place.
Yeah, we've sent a list to the wrong
South Pole
place.
Santa Claus.
And he's aware of every kid. And
that's the name of the movie, South Pole Santa Claus.
Yeah, and then a kid comes along, and he's made the whole year without making a mistake, and now Santa Claus has to decide what to do about this. And then Santa Claus then once again believes in the power of Christmas, and then everything changes. It seems like a good idea. It's like a whole, I don't know who I'm going to cast for Santa Claus in that movie.
Okay. John Lithgow.
Maybe John Lithgow? No, I don't think John Lithgow. I'm thinking maybe Jack Black.
Okay.
I kind of like Jack Black for
What about
that.
the guy that played on Roseanne? The old
John Goodman?
John Goodman, yeah.
John Goodman would be okay. Yeah. That would be all right. I'd be okay with that.
I just watched Fat Man.
Uh-huh. You love Fat Man.
I do.
I watched it once and that was enough.
I'm a big Mel Gibson fan.
I like Mel Gibson as much as the next guy.
And
it's not the best Mel Gibson Christmas movie.
Die Hard.
He's not in
Oh, that's
Die
Bruce
Hard.
Willis. What's the Mel Gibson Christmas
Daddy's
movie?
Home 2.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
You have to watch it, Jason.
I know.
It's better than you think it is.
I've asked my kids multiple times. We've floated past it.
I'm telling you,
and every time they're like, I don't want to watch that.
It's better than you think it is. I'm not saying it's the best movie ever. Yeah. It's Abby's favorite Christmas movie, but it's better than you think it is.
So what's your suggestion?
For
Netflix.
Oh, my Netflix suggestion of
Did
the
you
week?
give it yet?
No, I haven't.
I watched, and then we'll do the Mount Rushmore of Christmas.
I watched Ken Burns. I've been on a heavy Ken Burns click lately. So I watched the Ken Burns documentary yesterday called The Address. Have you seen this one?
I have not.
It's about the
Abraham Lincoln?
Yes, it's about Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. 2 minutes long.
My favorite Abe Lincoln reference is Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes.
Hey, Blinken. Did you just say Abe Lincoln?
Yeah.
No, I said, hey, Blinken.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excellent. Have you seen Robin Hood Men in Tights?
No.
You got to watch
it. We roam around the world looking for fights.
Yeah.
We may look like sissies. Anyway, that's a great movie.
It is. It's Mel
and
Brooks.
The Hey Blinken thing is really funny. There's a blind guy. His name is Blinken. The guy's name is Blinken. Yeah. He goes, hey, Blinken. And he goes, did you just say Abe Lincoln? And they're meanwhile, it's Robin Hood. So Abe Lincoln's not coming along for 1,000 years. It's like, what? That's a funny line.
Oh, I said, hey, Blinken.
Oh. I like it when because he's the servant and the castle got ransacked and it's completely in rubbles on the ground, and Blinken, the blind guy, is sitting on the toilet in the middle of the rubble because he doesn't know that the building's been knocked down because he's blind, and he's sitting on the toilet reading a Braille Playboy. And he's sitting on the toilet.
There's another scene.
I read it for the articles.
There's another scene where he has a sword and he's fighting like a pole. And
Yeah.
ching, 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 ching,
We don't make fun of blind people enough anymore. Visual jokes about blind people are very harmless.
That's the
Don't you
same
think
for
so?
Audible jokes for deaf people.
Yes, you can make fun verbally of deaf people
They don't
all
know.
you want.
Yeah.
It's not hurting their feelings. They don't know.
Visual, like if you see a blind person and you go like this, they don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So, anyway, it's called my Netflix suggestion of the week is called The
And
Address.
Helen Keller, you can say and do whatever you want.
Yeah. Do you know why Helen Keller's a bad driver?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because she's a woman.
Yep.
That's my favorite joke. So anyway, it's called The Address.
Uh-huh.
It is about two things. It's about the Gettysburg Address. Gettysburg Address was 2 minutes long. The speech that Abraham Lincoln gave after the Battle of Gettysburg. He was not the main speaker of that gathering. The main speaker was this public speaker. He spoke for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then Lincoln stands up, gives a Gettysburg Address, and it's eternal, basically. You know, it's like lived on in memory.
407 years ago.
407 years ago, our forefathers. So there's a school in Vermont called,
Probably
I think it's called, there's a couple. This one's an all-boys school called Greenwood. Only 50 students in it. It's like, like a private school where
Currently.
you stay.
Or
Yeah.
back then.
It started in 1978 was when the school started. And it's specifically targeted toward kids with learning disabilities, dyslexia, ADHD. Just they're not getting along very well in public school.
Yes.
And so their parents enroll them in this school, and they stay at this school. It's like they stay during the week and they go home on the weekends.
Like a boarding
like
school.
that. It's like a boarding school. And it seems like it's a really interesting documentary in the sense that you're just watching the way the school works. But this school has something that's unique about it, is every single student of Greenwood, by the time they graduate, will memorize and perform the Gettysburg Address in front of an audience.
Yeah.
And that is the way, like everyone has to.
Yeah.
And for some of these kids, it's a lot of work because they have real reading, writing, comprehension issues, and they really have to fight through in order to get it. And so it's a documentary about the Gettysburg Address, but it's also about the school and this tradition that they have. And I'm telling you, when it was like, when the kind of like the climax of the movie, my wife and I were both crying. Like, it was so powerful. It was a really good documentary. It's called The Address by Ken Burns. Very good. Highly recommended.
Where can you find it?
Well, that's the thing, Jason. It's a PBS documentary. And so if you get the PBS documentary add-on onto Amazon Prime, it's only like $3.99 a month.
Okay.
But that's how you can watch it, because it's not a Prime thing.
Yeah.
So you have to
Pretentiously.
be pretentious.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do the Mount Rushmore.
Let's do this.
Of Christmas movies.
Now, these are not, Christmas movies. Now let's just reiterate. If you watch or listen to the show, you probably already know this, but there is a difference that our sister didn't even understand the other day when she asked us a question, and you're like, wait a minute, Mount Rushmore or my favorite? I don't even know what the question was.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference. There's a difference between my favorite and Mount Rushmore. There's a difference between best and Mount Rushmore.
Yes. For instance.
Yes. Martin Van Buren. He was obviously the best president we've ever had.
Well,
but he's not on the Mount Rushmore.
I was going to say Ronald Reagan.
Uh-huh.
Ronald Reagan, one of the best.
One of
my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Not on the
But he's not on the Mount Rushmore. Okay, so
Donald Trump is one of the presidents.
Would you put him on Mount Rushmore?
100. I'd put 4 Donald
Yeah, I was
Trump.
gonna say he'd put 4.
How arrogant would that be if he
If he
I'm
could
gonna
find
do
a way
4,
to
just
do
found
that.
an empty mountain.
No, if he
I'm gonna
redid the ones.
Well, that would
Lincoln, what did he ever do for the country?
Tremendous.
Tremendous. He's facing 4 different directions. I think he
Some
should get a
people would like
mountain and do 4 sides of the mountain facing north, south, east, and west.
Yes.
Trump is overlooking all of America.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a good idea.
Anyways, this is
the Mount Rushmore.
not your favorite.
This is not your favorite. This is not what you think are the best ones.
It's iconic.
it's iconic. They might not even be the most popular ones because you could do just an easy search and you could say, what are the highest selling Christmas movies of all time? You say, well, that's what it is. But there's an element, there's an art to this.
For instance, my wife hates, she hates It's a Wonderful Life.
It's my favorite Christmas movie.
I know. I also think it's pretty iconic.
It belongs on the list.
I think Miracle on 34th Street.
Well, okay, let's see. Boy, you're just going right into it, aren't you?
These belong
Miracle on
it.
34th Street.
I think it's super iconic.
It is super iconic.
Super iconic. I kind of think White Christmas is super iconic.
We're 3 old movies now, Jason. Are you
Listen,
telling me we can only pick one new one?
The Grinch. Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
No.
No.
That might be one of your favorite. That's not even the most iconic. Not
I
even
guess
close.
it's
Not
hard to
even
just say
close.
iconic.
Not even close.
When there's a generational gap. The 3 that you mentioned, I've never even seen any of them.
That's your problem.
But that's a generational
You've also never even
thing.
seen a $100 bill.
Pull one out right now.
I was talking to
side gecko.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and he said the funniest phrase. He said, "I wanted to buy one of those sweatshirts, but I never have 30 consecutive dollars."
That's pretty good.
I thought that was really funny.
I never get the 30 consecutive dollars.
I really wanted to get one of those sweatshirts, but I never have 30 consecutive dollars. That killed me.
It's a running $30.
30. I mean,
at
yes.
any given time. Like
If you add it all up, I've had $30 in my life, but never consecutively. Oh my goodness, that really made me laugh. So no, Jesse, I mean, the Grinch does not belong.
Not
on
even.
this
And
list.
it's not a generational thing.
And if a Grinch did belong on the list, it would be the original Grinch,
cartoon,
the
yes.
cartoon.
Oh.
You need to shut it because you're so wrong on this.
Yeah,
it might be your favorite. I'm not
could be your
discounting
favorite.
it.
I want to call in Shoeless Joe on this.
Daddy's
okay,
call in Shoeless Joe, please.
He will agree with us.
Yes.
100%.
Now, does Shoeless Joe like the Grinch? I assume he does.
Yeah.
Did I watch the Grinch just the other day and I liked it? Yeah, I did, and
Well,
I do.
Here's the thing.
It's
Shoeless Joe
fine.
is also our age.
Yes, that's true.
So,
So,
if you're worried about
Grinch
generational,
I'm trying to win him over. Okay?
It's a Wonderful Life belongs on the
Message
list. Miracle on 34th Street, White Christmas. I understand. I get it.
I think those 3 have to be. I don't see how they can't not be.
All right. So what else you putting on the list?
Okay. I'm going to say A Christmas Story.
Yeah. So I feel like yes, right?
Yeah.
It has to be.
I think it has to be. I don't think there's another choice.
I mean, honorable mentions would be, I think, Home Alone. Home Alone is the number one selling movie of. At one point, it was the number one selling movie of all time.
Yes.
Like the box office.
Yeah.
It was insanely popular.
But I don't think for Christmas movies, I don't think it's the most iconic. Honorable mention,
Probably, yeah. I think it would be my first honorable mention as a more random.
I think a newer instant classic was Elf. I think Will Ferrell's Elf is fantastic.
Yes.
And it's probably on my Mount Rushmore of favorite Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you there.
Christmas Vacation. I love it. I think it's on my Mount Rushmore favorite.
Yes, I love Christmas Vacation, but it does not belong on this list.
No.
So the Mount Rushmore then, is it if you went out and polled 100 people?
Do you understand what iconic means?
Yes. But, again, generationally, in 20 years, are any of those
There's a
movies going to be iconic?
difference between popular
Yes.
and iconic. Like, not a lot of people know a lot about Thomas Jefferson, but he belongs on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, this is hard.
Okay.
This is more of a feel thing.
Yeah. It's not popularity.
It's not popularity.
Listen, popularity, like a song. A song could be super popular for a short period of time and then fall off the list. Mm-hmm. But iconic lives throughout the ages. Mm-hmm. It's forever.
And I think A Christmas Story will live on forever.
I think so, too. Mm-hmm. Miracle on 34th Street, live forever. Wonderful Life, live forever. And White Christmas. Now, do I think they're the best? I don't. I don't think that they're the best.
Well, I think it's A Wonderful Life is the best Christmas movie there
I'm a
ever
fan,
was.
but my wife's not, so we never watch it.
Well, this is a very interesting situation. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Hot dog!
Hee-haw! Mary, you want the moon, Mary? I'll lasso it for you. Oh, Mr. Potter. I just watched it. It's such a good movie, and I cried again when I watched it.
And you're watching it in black and white.
Listen, it should only be watched in black and white. My kids were like, I forced my kids to watch it.
Yeah.
The other day, and I was like, we're watching this. You're watching it, and you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you're going to appreciate it for what it is. And I clicked on it, and they had a black and white and a color option. And I was like, why don't we watch it in color? I was like, how have I failed as a parent?
You have a dead gecko, and you want to watch things in color.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
But no, it has to be watched in black and white.
If it was originally produced in black and white, it should always, forever, for all of eternity, be watched in black and white.
It would be like recoloring the beginning of The Wizard of Oz. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
That belongs in black and white.
100%.
That belongs in black and white as much as It's a Wonderful Life does.
Do you know the first time I watched Wizard of Oz was on a black and white TV?
Not quite the same payoff.
No. I remember my mom, I was probably 4. We were living in Prospect. And I remember watching Wizard of Oz. It was on TV. Mm-hmm. And my mom walks by the room and she looks. She goes, "Where are you watching?" I told her what it was. And she goes, "Oh, you're not going to understand that." Mm-hmm. I remember her telling me. I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well,
shut up. I'll understand it.
It's going to go from black and white to color, and you're not going to understand it because you can't see it on that TV." I'm like, "I'll get it. It's fine.
I'll get it."
She knew at an early age. You were just really dumb.
I was the king.
Hey, can I just give a shout out to Shoeless Joe real quick?
Give a shout out to Shoeless Joe.
So I received a friend request on Facebook from Joe, and I saw that you two were my common friends, so I added him, and he said, "Hey Jesse, I've enjoyed you as an addition to the show. I feel like we would be friends in real life if we lived close." So I never responded to him. That was like a week ago. I did get your message,
you ghosted
Shoeless
him.
Joe, and I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. I love Shoeless Joe. Yeah. I'd have him in immediately. All right. Well, Merry Christmas, Jason.
Merry Christmas. Next week we'll do New Year's.
Yes. We'll come in with our New Year's resolutions.
That'd be good.
All right. This is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, Bubba, sit. Good dog.
I have spoken.
I can bring my gecko next time.
No. This is the only time.
Okay.